Okay, this is Joe Minert. I do not see any attendees that have come into the meeting. So at this point, I'll just turn it over to Frank Stevens to do the staff introduction. It's all yours.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So tonight's meeting is a stakeholders meeting. It's an informal meeting for the easy storage facility at the end of Gallant Fox Lane, detailed site plan DSP 99003-01. A stakeholders meeting is an informal meeting, a question and answer session. It's not a public hearing. Those will come later in the development review process. Tonight's application, as I said, is at the end of Gallant Fox Lane. This is the outline of the property. It's 4.3 acres, zoned industrial. It contains an existing 4-story storage facility. And the proposal is to add a 3-story, 48,700 square foot addition to the north end of the existing building. Before we go any further, I just want to mention the upcoming city public hearing dates. The Bowie Advisory Planning Board will hear this case on Tuesday, November 10th at 7 p.m. And the City Council will hear this case on Monday, November 16th at 8 p.m. Both of those hearings will be virtual hearings. Right now, I'd like to turn things over to Mr. Bradley Farrar, who will present the application to our viewing audience.
Good afternoon, good evening, Mr. Stevens. And I want to thank you and Mr. Meinhardt and your team, Mr. Hogue, and as well as the citizens of the city of Bowie for having us today. As you indicated before, again, this is really the expansion of a storage facility with easy storage at the Gallant Fox Street location. There is an existing facility there, but our plan here is to, again, as you indicated, to build a 3-story, 48,708 square foot building addition. It will add approximately 400 units of storage in the facility, and it's primarily there to create convenience and an amenity for the citizens of the city of Bowie. We've fully have landscaped it. All the parking that we have on the site is adequate, and it's on the site. And we appreciate the citizens who are watching, who've come out to or who've turned on to listen to our presentation about the facility. We certainly appreciate it. And with that, Mr. Hogue, I mean, we can step through the slides that we have and give a brief presentation, and we can go from there. Again, this is where there's an existing easy storage facility at Gallant Fox, and it's really at the intersection of a couple of landmarks. So the first is there is the railroad tracks as they cross under Annapolis Road 450 is to the north of the site, and then a few blocks to the east would be Laura Bowie Road, Route 170. And if Mr. Hogue, if you would advance the slide, we can talk about the site a little more in depth. Again, as you see shaded in gray is the proposed addition here on this next slide, and right where your hand is, yes. And again, that'll be 3 stories. It'll be 35 feet 11 inches in height, and it's adjacent to the existing structure, the existing storage facility. One of the interesting things that that we're going to do here on the site is there will be currently there is a manager's apartment unit but because of advances in the self-storage facilities and the technology, Easy Storage is really one of the premier providers of storage solutions for communities. And what they've done is they've really determined how to make self-storage secure such that you no longer need to have a manager on site 24/7. So their technology will allow for the elimination of the manager's apartment, and it will then allow for the transfer of that space into storage facilities. So that's really one of the exciting advances in technology that Easy Storage is utilizing for this site. You can advance, Mr. Hogue. Thank you. Here you can see the renderings of the property, and the top, if you would point to the top facade there, that would be as you're driving down Gallant Fox towards the facility. This is what the facility will look like, and you can see there's a fairly clean demarcation between the existing facility and the proposed facility. It's here where that it looks like it's a little line, or where there's a where the building steps down. So it steps down as you move further north towards Annapolis Road, and then it has the beautiful it looks like indentations, but it creates a perception of modernism as the building kind of steps away towards the railroad tracks. It's really beautiful rendering of a self-storage facility. You have the banding that will be mixed with the existing band. It will match perfectly, and the existing coloring will match as well. So those are some of the highlights of the building. If you want to advance, Mr. Hogue, and I see that the Vice President of Sienna Corporation, Craig Pittenger, is on, and so he can jump in if I've left anything out about the beautiful architecture on the storage facility. This next view is as you're looking at the facility, as you're coming down Annapolis Road, heading east. And you would be heading east towards Bowie High School, Performing Arts Center, the Harris Teeter, the Moms. You would look to the right, and this is what you would see of the facility that's existing. And then, Mr. Hogue, if you'd advance one more, you'll see what the addition will look like. And again, you'll see how it blends in perfectly. And it has, again, the symmetry, and it's a gentle, almost a gentle cascading of the building as it steps down from the existing to the proposed building, and it blends in, and it's coming towards you. It's a beautiful structure there. And again, you can see the Easy Storage signage, which matches and blends into that top band that runs across the facility. If you advance to the next slide, Mr. Hogue. Again, this is the existing building as you look down, as you're on 197 and you're looking down Gallant Fox Lane. Again, it blends in. You have the tree canopy in the background, the greenery in the front. So you have that existing structure there. That's what that looks like. Mr. Hogue, if you'd advance to the next slide. And then this is the first floor plan of the expanded facility of the 3-story structure. Craig, did you want to speak to any of this?
Sorry, am I unmuted?
You're unmuted, yes.
Okay. Only to the extent I think that anybody has questions. As you can see, we're just lining up, extending the hallways, the existing hallways into the expansion. We've added glass on the sawtooth side, the north or 450 side of the facade. If you want to go to the next slide. In glass at that level as well.
Sir Hoag, do you have the next slide?
Well, this is showing the existing,
The existing
but
layout.
the one before it was really for the second and third floors, pretty much the same layout.
Okay. And I think that's our last slide, right, Mr. Hoag? Okay. So these are the upper floors of the existing facility, it looks like.
Yeah, so the idea is it's an expansion of the building, but as far as the parking lot remains the same, and we can get the parking configured on the existing asphalt.
And I think is that the last slide? Should be. Yep. So that's what we have. So if anyone wants to come in and ask any questions, or Frank, if you have any questions for us, or Mr.
I don't
Minor?
have any questions. I'm not sure if we've received any late signups to speak. If there aren't any, I would just remind everybody that the two public hearings that are coming up, again, BAPB Advisory Planning Board on Tuesday, November 10th at 7, and Bowie City Council on Monday, November 16th at 8 o'clock. Both of those meetings will be virtual meetings. Joe, is there anyone who's you've gotten any kind of correspondence from about any questions tonight?
No, I have no questions, Frank.
Okay, well then I think probably that would conclude our meeting. And thank you all for attending, and we'll talk again on Tuesday, November 10th.
Fantastic. Thank you so much,
All right.
Frank.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you.